of Transportation, Jackson TSC engineer, Sam Sorensen. Hey, Sam, welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You know, I've introduced you as a TSC engineer all these months, but I really don't even know what TSC stands for.
It's Transportation Service Center.
Oh.
So those are kind of our hubs for our customers, the motoring public, to come into and voice concerns and bring anything to our attention. So it's kind of our way of keeping the public, giving the public a place to come. And
is that the one that's at M60 and Michigan Avenue?
no, that one's actually our region office,
Okay.
which is in charge of all the TSCs in this region, which include Lansing TSC and Brighton TSC and Jackson TSC. Our office is located near the Jackson County Department of Transportation on Elm Road.
Ah, I can picture it now.
Yep.
Yes, just off I-94.
Yeah, we're right middle of a project. So.
Yeah, and we're right in the middle of the project. Kind of, are we halfway yet?
No,
Not quite?
halfway. We're hit a couple speed bumps, I guess you could say. Falling behind a little bit. We got planned to finish in November, like we've always anticipated, though. So as you start getting into the projects and you start getting into the old infrastructure under the road, you tend to find surprises that you didn't know were there that tend to slow you down a little bit.
Not any Indian burial grounds or anything like that?
No, nothing like that. Just sometimes underground utilities that you didn't know were there, or maybe they were in a different spot. Sometimes that slows you down a little bit. So.
Well, where the Cooper Street interchange construction is going on, here in Jackson we used to have coal mines, and that's where the brewery industry was located back in the day. Have you found any remnants of either of those?
Well, the coal mines we filled in. We knew about those. That was a big concern during the development. We want to make sure that any underlying voids that were there we filled in with a grout. Make sure basically built the bathtub underground and filled it with grout.
So they wouldn't collapse.
So they wouldn't collapse, exactly. And so we built that bathtub under the new Cooper Street Bridge and the footprint of that. And then along I-94, what we're doing is we're using reinforced concrete pavement, continuously reinforced concrete pavement, basically a bridge deck for I-94 itself, that if there is any subsidence under I-94, that will bridge the collapse and give us an opportunity to get in there and fix it.
Well, I think probably more recently, anyone that's traveling on 94 is able to now get the gist of what's going to happen and how everything's going to look like when it's done.
Yeah, hopefully we're doing the last bridge deck pour tonight on the new eastbound structure. That's going to finish up about a 2,000-yard deck pour for us. If folks have driven through recently, they will see, and here's a time lapse of one of the first deck pours we did. You can see we're pumping the concrete out there. As you can imagine, you can't drive the concrete trucks out there. So we pump the concrete out there, and they use a machine that's sloped to the slope of the road. It's called a bid well that has a couple cylinders on it that spin, that smooth out the concrete, and then we have the finishers come in behind it. And then the white stuff you see them spraying on there, we call that curing compound. Concrete does not, it doesn't dry. The water doesn't dry out of it. It's a chemical reaction called hydration. And so you want to keep the water in there. You don't want that to evaporate. That's what that water, or that curing compound does, is minimize evaporation. Yeah, so in addition to this, we've also got the new median pier for the Cooper Street Bridge has been built. So when folks are driving by, they can see just how high we are raising Cooper Street and the bridge. The eastbound interchange is going to be approximately 15-20 feet higher than what the existing one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very substantial grade raise through there. Lots of fill, which I think folks have seen the amount of fill we brought in through there.
Yeah, it looks like a different town, really. It's amazing. I've noticed driving over Lansing Avenue Bridge, just looking east, it's completely unfamiliar. And once it's all done, will will eastbound and westbound lanes be at the same grade, or will they be one be higher than the other?
Eastbound is going to be higher just in the nature of you're going through a curve, and so we slope the road, add super elevation to it as you're going through the curve to help you maintain your speed without sliding off the road, basically. So when you do that, you're going to have a little bit higher on the eastbound side just because you're curving to the left as you're going east.
Before the show, we were talking a little bit about the Cooper Street businesses that are impacted. Obviously, it's probably been a drop in business for places like Northside Takeout and the PS Food Mart, and anybody near that. And I always suggest go out of your way if you can, if you have extra time, to patronize the businesses, because they're seeing a drop in business. But the good news is, the feeling is that this exit off 94 will be a major entrance to the city. So hopefully those businesses will see a bump in business from before construction started.
Yeah, absolutely. This is some of the previous renderings I've brought in. I think you've seen what we call the beautification. This is the entrance. This is the gateway to Jackson. We call it gateway treatment on our end. And the businesses was one of the driving forces why we wanted to have a milestone in the middle of the project to get traffic shifted, get the south side of I-94 or Cooper open as soon as possible, get the eastbound on and off ramps open, hopefully by the 4th of July.
Oh, really?
Yeah, hopefully we can
that's
get
good
those.
News.
Yeah, that'll be good news for the businesses there, and so folks that are on the freeway can easy on, easy off again on eastbound, at least. Westbound traffic still won't be able to get there.
But the Cooper Street itself, the bridge, it won't be done by the 4th of July.
No, the bridge we're looking to get Cooper Street open by mid-October.
Okay. Yeah, so as we all say, it'll be nice when it's done.
Yeah.
Now, you brought up a lot of land along 94 for the project. I know some of it is being used for construction, staging, and so on. Will any of that land then be returned for sale? Is there any commercial land going to be available around that interchange?
I don't think so. A lot of land, we try not to buy too much excess property when we go in to buy projects. Sometimes it's just the nature of the beast. You have a parcel that's rather large and you're going to relocate a business. You end up buying the whole parcel, and if there is excess property, we do sell that back to minimize the impact to the taxpayers. But with this project, we kept the footprint pretty small with the acquisitions.
Well, let's take a look. You brought some photos too, in addition to the video.
So these are new catch basins. It's a storm sewer, basically, where the rainwater on the roads are going to go into these, and then it's going to carry it to the Grand River. The black tubes with the white socks are on them. That's what we call those under drains. One of the most important things to do with a new road or any road is to keep the water out of the underlying soil. And that's a way we achieve that, is that absorbs that water, brings it into the storm sewer, and we're able to outlet it accordingly.
See, if I was building roads, I wouldn't even think about that. I would just build them kind of at an angle so that just drains off and let somebody else worry about it. But luckily, you have engineers that are building roads.
This is a good picture. This is looking south from I-94, and that's the new Cooper Street. You can see looking into town there. PS is on the right, and I think the north side's on the left behind that tower. You can see how we're building up the grade, and we've actually we're maintaining access to, I think it's Ray's Print Shop right there on Brookley. So you can see what we're doing as we're coming up to I-94 from the south. This is looking west, and you can see about the middle of the picture, you see the white truck coming at us from I-94. That's the old off-ramp for the eastbound to Cooper, eastbound I-94 to Cooper. So everything you see here is you're seeing now how much we're moving I-94 to the south. And you can kind of see how the bridge is super elevated to the right in this picture, where it's kind of sloped to the right, and how it's a little higher on the left-hand side. That's what we do to make sure traffic is traversing the road safely. This is looking west again with the new median pier on the right, which if you drive through there now, the forms have been stripped off, And you can kind of see the texturing that Cooper is going to be, the field stone, I think texturing is what it's called. We haven't painted it yet. We got to wait a while to paint it.
So the Cooper Street actually will, as it was before, it will go over 94 there.
That will go up and over I-94. It's not going to be as steep as it was, I don't think. We've actually, even though we're raising the grade, we're kind of lessening the grade itself of the road. It was pretty steep there. We're narrowing up the bridge. No reason to have 5 lanes of traffic in a really wide, expensive bridge when you have roundabouts that can handle the traffic and operate much more efficiently. So you minimize the footprint of the bridge and make it a lot more cost efficient. This is the back side of the south. We call it abutment. You can see all the green reinforcement bar in there. That's for the concrete to ensure that it can handle the weight of the new bridge that's going to be put on top of it.
So as we saw in one of the previous photos looking west, the new bridge deck, and in the distance, the Lansing Avenue Bridge, it doesn't look like it lines up, does it?
We will tie in what we're calling a temporary tie-in. In 2021, 2022, thereabouts, we'll be reconstructing Lansing Ave Bridge. And actually I-94 will swing to the north and come and approach West Ave from the north. And then as you go to the east, we're also going to be reconstructing the Elm Road interchange, putting in roundabouts there, widening the bridge under or over I-94 and that so it can accommodate all the future lanes of I-94.
Okay.
Those are the pinch points. That's, this is a $109 million project. It's very difficult to come up with the additional funds to do it all at once, as much as it would make sense to. That project in the hopper is about $35 million in 2021.
Yeah, and I think everyone remembers when you put a new bridge over 94 carrying 127 traffic. That's got much wider lane clearance for 94. So that's already in place for having more lanes, right?
The 127, neither of the 127s are Detman and Hawkins. Yes, when you look at those, you can see there's no outside piers restricting the lanes. So.
All right, so there's a few bridges that before we can go fall expansion of 94, so it's a couple of years away.
Yeah. Yep.
We've had, the other day, someone mentioned that they saw just a ton of traffic on Michigan Avenue in town. Are there times where you're taking traffic off 94?
Well, we had to take traffic off yesterday. Unfortunately, we had an accident. We had a box truck, a small semi, go off the road pretty far down into the weeds.
Ooh.
And in order for the towing company to safely retrieve it, we had to close I-94, let them do that, and then actually we had to fix the guardrail, and we took the opportunity to fix the guardrail. So, no, we try to keep those full closures to a minimum. That's our big thing is keeping traffic moving.
And the concrete dividers right now between east and west 94, will those are going to be gone, right?
Yeah, the existing concrete medium barrier will be replaced with the job. And actually, between 120 or Elm and Sargent, there was existing guardrail. We're in the process of removing that guardrail as we speak, and that's going to be replaced with new concrete medium barrier, much safer design.
It's a different type of barrier than what exists now?
In that area, yeah. It's just concrete. The other barrier, its service life is done. It's starting to kind of show its age, so we're going to remove that, replace it with a newer design, a concrete barrier.
Great.
That's safer.
Well, we appreciate all the updates. Keep up the great work.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for coming in today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
The Michigan Department of Transportation Jackson Transportation Service Center engineer, Sam Sorensen. Well, stay with us here on